Bonjour tout le monde et bienvenue. Welcome to another live workshop. Today we are doing some grammar practice. Moi, c'est Mark, si vous ne le savez pas. If you don't know, I am Mark. I'm changing my chair. I'm the founder of Coffee Break, and here we are this morning to do some more grammar practice, some more language practice as part of our Spring Forward event. This week we're doing 4 live workshops in French, German, Spanish and Italian, so a total of 16 live workshops in which we're helping you practice your language skills. We're looking at varied activities and we are giving you the chance to experience what it's like to be part of the Coffee Break French Club. Indeed, the Coffee Break Club, because it is one membership for 4 languages, French, German, Spanish and Italian. Now, I'm getting a little notification in my ear and I'm trying to work out what that notification involves. Hopefully all is okay. I'm hoping that you can see me. I'm hoping that you can hear me. It looks all okay at this point. So let's just keep going forward with this. So far, we've been working through our different lessons over the past few days, and we have done some discovering the world with une vidéo découverte with Pierre Benoit when we were s'amuser dans le futur. We were talking about amusing ourselves in the future, which was all about a future-themed theme park. We also did some guessing the mystery location with As-tu deviné où je suis, and that was on Monday. Now, all of these videos are available. You can find them on our Facebook page or indeed on our YouTube channel. And if you can't find anything, then you can just head to coffeebreaklanguages.com/springforward, and there you've got all the links for all of the past videos if you want to catch up with them. Today, we are going to be doing some slightly different materials. We've done some translation challenges as well yesterday, but today we're going to be doing some grammar practice. And as I said, this is all part of the Coffee Break Club. Now, before we get started, do let me know where you're watching from. I see Paula's joining us from Turkey. Bonjour, Paula. You're very welcome. I'm just going to resize this so that we can fit it on the screen. Okay, there we go. Bonjour, Paula. Let us know where you're watching from, and if you want to let us know how long you've been learning French, and if you are already a Coffee Break listener, because it's always good to know if you are already listening to our Coffee Break podcasts, to our Coffee Break content on social media, whether that's on Facebook, on Twitter or Instagram, all of the different platforms, and of course, if you are learning French with Coffee Break already in the club, because we have lots of club members, and I know that we've got some club members joining us too. As I said, today we're going to be focusing on grammar. We've got a grammar video in our SIP collection. And this SIP collection, we like to learn sip by sip here at Coffee Break. And our SIP collection is all about study, investigation, practice. So we'll study a particular topic, then we'll investigate it further with some examples, and then we'll practice it with some translations and so on. And that's exactly the format that we're going to be following today. It's all part of our Coffee Break Club. And the way the club came about, we wanted to come up with something that would help you develop your language skills, kind of in a similar way to these fitness apps where you do a little bit every day. You take a class in rowing or in running or in kickboxing or meditation or yoga, Pilates and so on. But we were looking to, obviously, YouTube for inspiration. YouTube is where we post a lot of content already. The problem with YouTube sometimes is that it is a little bit random and there's so much content out there, and sometimes you don't necessarily know how accurate the content is. So we wanted to create something that fitted into the sort of video library idea of Netflix, Hulu, Prime Video, where all of this really excellent high quality content is stored. You can access it on an app, you can download it to your device so that you can take it on a plane and watch it while you're on the plane and so on. But we also, as I said, wanted to kind of replicate that fitness idea. So apps like Apple Fitness Plus or Peloton, where you can take these video classes. So creating all of this into a video on-demand video library for language learners is what we've done with the club. The Coffee Break Club is exactly that, an on-demand library of video lessons with hundreds of lessons featuring expert teachers and varied activities, and you can access it via our web platform and our app. So that's what we're going to be experiencing this morning with our lesson with Susie. We're joined by Susie and we're going to be looking at the topic of the pronoun I. A tricky little pronoun, a very small word, but a very useful word too. We are delighted to be joined this morning by Atika from Londres. We are also joined by Amit, once again from Israel, Peter from les États-Unis. Aichi is coming to us from London this morning, and Caitlin is joining us from South Africa. Fantastic. Great to have a worldwide audience for this live session. So, let's get on with our lesson. I'm going to hand you over to Susie. If you've got any questions at any point about what Susie's explaining, please post them in the comments, and I will answer any questions after we watch through this live lesson together. So, over to you, Susie.
Bonjour et bienvenue au club. Moi, c'est Susie. My name is Susie, and today we've got a grammar video for you. Our topic for this grammar video is how to use the pronoun I. Now, this is a very useful word in French, and it's used a lot. It has many uses, but in this video, we're going to look at the basic use of the pronoun I. We're going to be using our SIP method, so we'll begin with some study, we'll move on to some investigation, and we'll finish with some practice. So if you're ready, you can grab a pen and paper to take some notes. Et si on est prêt, alors c'est parti! Let's start with our study section. We're looking at the pronoun I in this video, and the pronoun I means there. It's used to replace a place in a sentence, and it comes before the verb. So let's have a look at an example. On va à la piscine means we are going into the swimming pool. And if we replace à la piscine to the swimming pool with the pronoun I, we get on y va. We are going, or we are going there. As you can see, the pronoun I comes before the verb, on y va. And in English, we don't always translate the word I. We can translate on y va as we are going, or we are going there, but we don't need the word for there. Whereas in French, we need to have the word I. On y va. Now let's see what happens when I comes after je, or other words which end in the letter I. Je vais à la piscine means I am going to the swimming pool, and if we want to replace à la piscine with I, we get j'y vais. I am going, or I am going there. And as you can see, the I at the end of je has been dropped and replaced by an apostrophe, so we get j'y. So when I follows another pronoun which ends in an I, then the I is dropped and apostrophe is used instead. Now let's see what happens in the negative. Je ne vais pas à la piscine. I am not going to the swimming pool. We want to use I in this sentence. It becomes je n'y vais pas. I am not going, or I'm not going there. And as you can see again, I is coming before the verb, and the I at the end of ne has been dropped and replaced by an apostrophe. So we get ni. Je n'y vais pas. Now let's see what happens when we have two verbs in a sentence. When there are two verbs, I is placed just before the infinitive. So we're going to use this when we have a modal verb plus an infinitive, or the aller plus infinitive construction. For example, je vais aller à la piscine. I am going to go to the swimming pool. Becomes je vais y aller. I am going to go, or I'm going to go there. As you can see, I is coming before the infinitive aller and after the conjugated verb. Now let's see what happens in the perfect tense. In the perfect tense, I comes before the auxiliary and the past participle. So, je suis allé à la piscine. I went to the swimming pool. Becomes j'y suis allé. We've got the I coming before the auxiliary verb and the past participle. Now let's move on to our investigation section. Let's take a look at some examples of the pronoun I. Nous allons en ville demain. This means we are going into town tomorrow, and we can replace the place en ville, into town, with the pronoun I to get nous y allons demain. We are going there tomorrow. And as you can see, we have the pronoun I coming before the verb. Let's have a look at another example. Elles ne vont pas à la fête. They are not going to the party. Here we have a negative sentence. So if we want to use the pronoun y here, we get elles n'y vont pas. They are not going, or they're not going there. Again, we've got y coming before the verb, and we've got the ne becoming n apostrophe. Elles n'y vont pas. Let's move on to our next sentence. Il aime aller au marché. He likes going to the market. If we want to replace au marché with y, we get il aime y aller. He likes going there. So here we've got an example with two verbs and the y coming before the infinitive aller. Il aime y aller. He likes going there. Let's take a look at a final example. Tu es allé au cinéma? Did you go to the cinema? If we want to use y, in this case, we get tu y es allé. Did you go there? Here we've got the perfect tense of the verb aller, so the y is coming before the auxiliary verb and before the past participle. Let's move on to our practice section. In our practice section, we're going to replace the place in the sentences with the pronoun y, and you'll have 10 seconds for each sentence. So our first sentence is Les enfants veulent rester à la plage. Allez, 10 secondes. Okay, how did you get on with that one? Les enfants veulent rester à la plage. We can replace à la plage with the pronoun y, and we get Les enfants veulent y rester. The children want to stay there, meaning the children want to stay at the beach. And here we've got a vouloir plus infinitive construction, so the y comes before the infinitive, y rester. Les enfants veulent y rester. Okay, let's try another sentence. Vous allez à Paris ce week-end? Allez, 10 secondes. Okay, how did you do with that one? Vous allez à Paris ce week-end. So we can replace the place à Paris with the pronoun y, and we get vous y allez ce week-end. Are you going there this weekend, or are you going this weekend? Meaning, are you going to Paris? And as you can see, the pronoun y comes before the verb. Vous y allez ce week-end. Okay, let's try another sentence. Nous sommes allés au restaurant. 10 secondes. Okay, let's have a look at the answer. Nous sommes allés au restaurant becomes nous y sommes allés. We went there, or we went, meaning to the restaurant. And we've got a perfect tense here, the verb aller in the perfect tense, and so the pronoun y is coming before the auxiliary and the past participle. Nous y sommes allés. We went, or we went there. Let's try a final challenge. Elle n'est pas à la gare. Allez, 10 secondes. Okay, did you get that one? Elle n'est pas à la gare. If we want to use the pronoun y in this sentence, we get elle n'y est pas. She is not there. And here we've got a negative sentence, so we've got the e coming before the verb, and then we've got the ne with the e being dropped and replaced by an apostrophe. Elle n'y est pas. She is not there. Let's do a review of everything we've covered in this video. We've been talking about the pronoun y, which means there. It's used to replace a place in a sentence, and it comes before the verb. When e follows a pronoun, which ends in the letter e, then the e is replaced with an apostrophe, as in j'y vais, I am going. In negative phrases, the e comes directly before the conjugated verb. For example, je n'y vais pas, I am not going or I am not going there. When there are two verbs, I is placed just before the infinitive. For example, je ne vais pas y aller. I am not going to go or I am not going to go there. In the perfect tense, I comes before the auxiliary and the past participle. For example, j'y suis allé. I went or I went there. Merci beaucoup. Thank you for watching. I'm Susie and I'll see you again very soon for another video from the Coffee Break French Club. In the meantime, happy coffee breaking!
Merci beaucoup, Susie. Thank you very much indeed. So I hope that you found that useful, a useful review of the pronoun I. Now, I can be tricky. As Susie explained, there are some rules that we need to remember about it, particularly when it comes to combining different verbs together. For example, I'm thinking of perfect tenses as we saw, nous y sommes allés. We went there. The I has to come before the auxiliary verb, in this case, être. Nous y sommes allés. We there have gone or went. Nous y sommes allés. But when it comes to using an infinitive, for example, I want to go there, je veux y aller. So I want, and then there, before the infinitive, to go. Je veux y aller. So it is quite tricky to remember exactly where the I goes, particularly when it comes to those compound tenses or when we're using infinitives with modal verbs like vouloir and pouvoir and so on. How would you say, here's another little question for you that you can post in the chat. How would you say, I have to go there? Use devoir. So I have to go there, or I must go there. How would you say that? See if you can come up with that, and I'll look in the comments in just a moment. Ali, well done for posting your answers. Don't worry at all about getting that E in the wrong place. Hopefully now you have learned where the E goes. And it's good to have you here. And also Ian, bonjour Ian, you're near Perpignan, lovely part of the world. I hope the sun is shining. So my question to you is, how do you say I must go there using devoir and I? Let's have a look. Oh, we've got some correct answers. Amit, well done. Je dois y aller. Paula, je dois y aller. I think this piece is Peter, TMHC72. Je dois y aller. Très, très bien. Okay, let's up the level a little. How would you use it with il faut? We can do two things. We can say il faut y aller. So I'll just put these on the screen. Oops, let me bring this over here. Il faut y aller. So we could have il faut y aller. But if we want to use il faut que, we need to follow that with a subjunctive. Now, this is a much higher level. Don't worry if you're not familiar with it, but you would say il faut que j'y aille. Il faut que j'y aille. And that's actually on its own a nice little phrase, because when you say il faut que j'y aille, it means I need to go, I need to be off, I need to finish here. Il faut que j'y aille, I need to get off. So il faut que j'y aille. Nice little phrase, even if you're not familiar with that subjunctive, you can take that phrase away with you and learn that. Okay. Right, now as I said, these are all... oh, okay, so Ali is asking an interesting question. J'y dois, not quite, we need the aller in there. And because it's a modal verb with an infinitive, je dois aller au marché, par exemple, I need to go to the market, then we put it after our modal verb, so je dois y aller. And we make that nice liaison there with a je dois y aller. We sound the S of dois, D-O-I-S. Très bien. Okay, as I said, all of this is part of our Coffee Break Club. Let me bring our club on the screen here. So this is the Coffee Break Club, and it's a video library, just like Netflix for language learners, if you like. A video library where you see the latest videos, the most popular videos, and then our Coffee Break French Club videos here. If we go into this, you'll see there's a full collection of Coffee Break French Club videos. There are translation challenges like what we did yesterday. There are discovery videos. There are more SIP videos, study, investigation, practice. So there's another one, this one with Max, all about the most, the least, the best, the worst, superlatives in French. So lots more content here on the club. And if you see these videos are kind of greyed out, if you like, because I've watched them already. So it lets you know which ones you've watched and which ones you've not watched already. You can search for different types of videos. You can look for different lengths of videos, different levels, and different types of videos here. So if we wanted to see all the grammar videos, if we just select grammar, and then all of the grammar videos that are currently available are shown there. If we want to see, I don't know, translation challenges, we see all the translation challenges, and we can go into any one of them and watch them. So the club is a monthly membership, and the monthly membership is $19.99. So you pay that on a monthly basis, but this week there's a special offer on that. We're offering 30% off the cost of the club for your first month. So 30% off your first month brings that down to $13.99 for accessing the club. Now there's also a quarterly option if you prefer. You can subscribe for a quarter, and that is $44.99. And there's also an annual version that we've just launched. So if you want, you can access the club for $199.99 for the year. Again, there's 30% off that. So if you were sticking for a year and you were paying monthly, you'd pay a total of $234. With that's including the 30% off your first month. If you stayed around for 4 quarters, then you would pay a total of $166.50, again with your 30% off the first payment. And if you stayed for a year with an annual payment, then you only pay $139.99, so about $140 in the first year. So that's about £112 in the UK at the moment, and you're looking at that one payment accessing all the hundreds of videos that we have on the club. Deborah's asking, is there a reduction for 2 languages? Deborah, no, there's no reduction for 2 languages because one membership gives you access to 4 languages. So you don't buy the Coffee Break French Club and then the Spanish Club and the Italian Club. With one payment, you get access to all of the club videos, every one of the videos within the club here. So if we just go back to all videos, you can see here there are hundreds of videos in French, German, Spanish and Italian, and you can access all of these on the Coffee Break TV platform. So I hope that answers your question, Deborah. Now, we have just done a survey with our club, existing club members, and we've got a couple of comments here from club members. So the club makes learning fun. I feel like I'm learning with friends, and I feel I'm part of a community. That's exactly what we're aiming for. Here's another one. The Coffee Break method of dedicating just a few minutes a day to language instead of big blocks of time has been life-changing and so accessible to me. The Coffee Break TV app helps me get in more learning than I otherwise would. My goal is to use it daily so I can get a good balance between grammar, vocabulary, and other fun videos. That's exactly what we're aiming for, providing you with something to do every single day. A new video for you to practice your grammar, to practice your vocabulary, and you can choose whatever one you want. And of course, you can watch them again, and you can pause, and you can download them to your device, and so on. All sorts of useful tools to help you improve your language skills. Peter is asking, the grayed out images, does that mean you can't watch a video no more than once? Absolutely not. You can watch it as many times as you like. It just means it's grayed out so that it shows you that you've already watched that one. Perhaps you would want to watch a different one. You can even make up your own playlists on the app. And you can also, for example, if you want to go out a walk, then you can just listen to the audio. They will play while your while your phone is locked, for example, and you can listen to the audio while you're out and about. Ali's saying, I listen to the podcasts when I'm walking my dog, turning my downtime into do time. That's what we like to hear. Excellent. Thank you very much, Ali. So just a reminder then, those 3 options, $19.99 per month or $44.99 per quarter, or $199 per year. And again, there's 30% off each of those prices. But of course, the best value one is the annual membership. You can also, if you're an existing club member for a monthly or a quarterly option, you can also upgrade to the yearly option and take advantage of that Spring 30 coupon. I've actually not put that on the screen yet now that I realise. So we need to go to coffeebreaktv.com and use the coupon code SPRING30. And if you did want to upgrade, then all you do is go to your profile up here, to your dashboard, and then you'll see your purchases. And here you've got Coffee Break Club Quarterly. You would just change there and subscribe to the annual method, the annual option, and it's clever enough to work out how much how much time you've got left in your current membership, and it will take that off the total cost. So you wouldn't pay the full price; you would pay whatever's left to pay, if that makes sense. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Merci beaucoup. I hope that you've enjoyed it. We've been doing some grammar work today, and tomorrow, well, there's no live tomorrow. That's the end of the lives, but we're going to do another live on Sunday just to round everything off, because that's when the Spring 30 coupon code finishes. So make sure you take advantage of that before Sunday if you'd like to join the club. You can, of course, cancel at any time. I should have said that already. That's it for today. Merci beaucoup. Merci Susie. Merci à vous. I hope that this has been useful. We're just about to go and get ready for German live. So if you're watching on YouTube, we'll be starting German in just about 2 minutes from now. But for now, merci beaucoup. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've learned something. It's all about learning a little bit every day. Allez, salut. À la prochaine.